Okay, let's talk about a feeling that I'm pretty sure is way too familiar if you've ever tried to learn a new language. You know the drill, right? You download the app, you're all fired up. You start building that streak. 30 days, 50, maybe you even hit 100 days. And it feels great, feels like you're making progress. And then, poof, you miss one day, then another. And before you know it, that app is just another forgotten icon on your phone. If this sounds like you, trust me, you are so not alone. And this right here, from the book Fluent Faster, completely reframes the problem. The core idea is that you didn't fail. It's not a personal flaw. It's not your fault. The problem is that the entire system, the advice we're given, the apps, these one-size-fits-all methods, is often just fundamentally broken for your specific life. And just how big is this problem? Well, it's staggering. While official numbers are kind of hard to lock down, some industry estimates suggest the dropout rate for a lot of these popular language apps is as high as 90%. 90. That's not a story about millions of people failing. That is a clear, blinking red light that the system itself is failing. We've all had it drilled into our heads, right? Consistency is king. Just do your 5 minutes a day, keep that streak alive, and presto, you'll be fluent. But hang on, if that was actually true with millions of people hitting those streaks, we should be surrounded by new polyglots. But we're not, are we? The truth is, consistency is absolutely crucial, but it's only half the story. And this is really the heart of the issue. The book puts it perfectly. Consistency is not direction. I want you to imagine walking for 10 minutes every single day without fail. But you're just walking in a tight little circle. Yeah, you're being consistent, but you're not actually getting anywhere. And that is what so many of us are doing on that language app hamster wheel. So if the villain of our story isn't a lack of consistency, then what is it? Well, the source material gives it a name, and it's a big one. Method mismatch. This is the #1 reason learners give up. It's when the tool you're using is fundamentally fighting against your reality, your actual schedule, how you handle stress, and what you're even trying to achieve in the first place. Let me show you a really clear example of this in action. Okay, think about two totally different learners. First, you've got the busy professional. They've got maybe 20 minutes on their commute. If you tell them to do mass immersion, watch hours of native content every day, they're gonna crash and burn. It's just not gonna happen. But then you have the immersion enthusiast who wants to dive deep into real, authentic stuff. A simple 5-minute app lesson, they're going to get so bored and quit. See? In both cases, the method wasn't bad. The match was just terrible. So this brings us to a huge shift in thinking. We have to stop looking for that one magic bullet, that one perfect method. It doesn't exist. The real solution? It's a diagnosis. Before you even think about picking up a tool or an app, you have to understand your own personal operating system as a learner. And a real diagnosis looks at these real-world constraints that actually determine if you're going to stick with it or not. I mean, think about it for yourself. How much time can you realistically find each day? Does the very idea of speaking to a native speaker make your palms sweat? Do you need a super rigid plan to feel secure? Or does that kind of structure make you want to run for the hills? These are the questions that really matter. And based on those answers, the book breaks learners down into several really distinct learner archetypes. Just look at this list for a second. Do any of these jump out at you? Maybe you're the anxious speaker who understands a ton but just freezes up, or the busy professional trying to squeeze learning into every spare minute. Figuring out which one you are, well, that's the breakthrough moment. Because once you know who you are as a learner, you can finally stop fighting against your own nature. You can pick tools and build a system that works with your life, instead of trying to force your life to fit some random system. That is how you build something you actually stick with. So the path forward is actually incredibly simple. Step 1, figure out what your unique learner archetype is. And step 2, use that knowledge to build a personal system that plays to your strengths and respects your real-life constraints. And the best part is, you can take that first step like right now. The author has put together a free 2-minute diagnostic quiz that's designed to help you discover your archetype instantly. No cost, it's super fast, and honestly, it could completely change how you learn languages forever. It's all waiting for you at Verbalaizer.com. Just go there, take the quiz, and get your diagnosis. So let me just leave you with this final, powerful thought. What if all those times you quit had nothing to do with your talent or your willpower? What if you were just using the wrong map the whole time?
What if you are just one personalized system away from finally reaching fluency?